Bucs Saints. Bucs get the win 23-3 over the Saints. Bucs had 7 negated defensive touchdowns now. It was close. Every time you looked up, Antoine Winfield's trying to score a touchdown.
I tweeted this, the entire story of this game was Antoine Winfield celebrating in the end zone and then the officials telling him why he didn't score.
There's so many times I enjoy rolling in on a Monday morning, talking to you about football games, and I hear some things that I completely missed. Like you just had a completely different perspective on stuff, and then there's other things that we're just very much on the same page. That was the one. Like my one takeaway of this game is almost touchdowns from Antoine Winfield.
It just seemed every other play seemed to be Antoine Winfield scoring, and then the rest being like, nah, not so fast.
It all started, so I love this. The edge. It was a banner week for edge threes. AJ Epinesa.
What a game from Nelson.
And then Anthony Nelson forces a fumble on Spencer Rattler early, and then has the
which was another punch in the head. Did you see this?
No, he punched
so
him in
it
the
looked
head.
like he just came in from behind, chasing. Rattler goes off to scramble. Nelson chasing down from behind. Comes in like tomahawk chop on the ball, turnover. Bad start.
Maybe
right?
that should be the new.
When you watch it, he did tomahawk chop the ball. Also, on the way through, clocked him in the face mask on the way down. So like full, defensive lineman and a big one, not like a small, undersized defensive lineman, like hefty defensive lineman, is like full arm club coming down to swipe this ball, blasts the dude in the face mask, and then knocks the ball out. I don't know what that does. Like, I've never been hit that way whilst holding a football. But I imagine getting hit that hard in the face mask on its way through to testing your ball security.
You a little bit, right? And then yeah.
On its way through to testing your ball security has to have an impact. And
that's how I would teach the peanut punch.
And this is fresh off the NFL supposedly paying attention to this now for the first time. Not this time.
I would teach the blow to the head on the way to the ball, peanut punch.
What if you turned it into like a boxing combination, like a 1-2? First punch to the head, second punch to the ball.
Oh, yeah, we need that one. We'll call that the Tyson.
The Tyson.
With the peanut. What is it right now? It's not a peanut punch. It's like Alfred Collins. Who deserves to have this named after them?
Was it T.J. Watt that had the most blatant, I'm just going to punch him in the head? And then claim that it was the football?
I was trying to find it a couple of years ago. Whoever got Justin Fields a couple of years ago, that poor guy.
I think T.J. Watt's one is the funniest, where he runs, jumps, and then punches a guy in the face on his way through to not even hitting the ball.
Yeah, those are the funniest ones. The ones that just end as a punch to the face and doesn't even hit the ball.
But that one was like a flying punch to the face. It was like run and a jump, and then on the way down, it was like a cartoon punch to the head.
JJ in the chat wants us to test this offseason where I try out a couple different peanut punches to you.
Okay.
Or maybe to each other. We just see what forces the fumble better.
Yeah, okay.
We'll do some testing.
I got a helmet.
We got plenty of room in the studio here.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Anthony Nelson from the 3-yard line, or the 10-yard line, but it was really a 3-yard return, tips up the pass to himself, returns it for a 3-yard interception.
Trucking Rattler on the way. Just blasts him in the shoulder.
A beautiful play. It looked like the Bucs were going to go up 14-0. Jamel Dean with a really nice forced fumble. It's just a fumble and then inadvertent whistle or actual whistle. So Antoine Winfield returns it for a touchdown. One of 3 times he's running into the end zone.
So this is the imbalanced nature of the rules, right? The official accidentally blows the whistle, play's dead. Official not blowing the whistle doesn't mean the play isn't dead. It just means that we haven't told you yet. Feels stupid.
A lot of procedural stuff this week. Quirky procedural stuff for the NFL officiating.
I mean, the other big thing, so outside of all the crazy turnovers and stuff, or not even outside of it, connected to that is Spencer Rattler gets benched in this game. I kind of see both sides of this. They bench Spencer Rattler, and it's like the offense has gone nowhere. They have 3 points or something at this time. Nothing's going well. Turnovers are happening all over the place. And it's like, let's just try and spark something, right? Like, it's not working right now. With the best of will, Spencer, it's not your day. We're just going to go in a different direction, right? I kind of get that as an argument. I also feel like, given how Spencer Rattler has played this year relative to expectations, that's a pretty short rope to be like, we've seen 30 minutes of rough football from you, Spencer. It's time you take a seat on the bench.
Hey, guys, real quick. Only 40% of our viewers are actually subscribed, so let's change that. Hit that subscribe button, and now let's get back to the action. I mean, it was really 2 weeks, though. I mean, he had multiple turnovers last week. There were some big plays in there, nice throws to Chris Olave and everything. But it was really 2 straight weeks of, what was it, 4 turnovers last week and then 2 in the first half and this week? If
He
you're
was
just
also getting
counting,
killed last week.
I mean,
that defense was murdering.
I get it. I'm just saying, if you're just counting turnovers, I don't think it matters. It really doesn't.
I think turnovers I think it's entirely plausible that they, off the back of last week, went into this week and said, the focus this week is turnovers. Just don't turn the ball over. Be more of a game manager. Do not put the ball in harm's way. And immediately you get the fumble forced from behind after getting punched in the face. You get the one-on-one, oops, I accidentally threw it to a defensive lineman who then ran over me for a touchdown. Like, you get a couple of pretty rough-looking turnovers very early. I think that's plausible that they went, look, this week all we've said is focus on turnovers, and immediately you threw the ball away twice.
I think the Nelson one, I always have some sympathy. I don't know. Was that a bad decision trying to throw the ball past Nelson? QBs have to do that all the time.
I don't think it's a bad decision. I think it's just one of those things where you understand that risk. Like, you have to make the play.
Yeah.
It's tough, and I think you kind of have to take the shot because that happens so often. If you threw the ball away every time you were faced with that situation, you'd never complete passes.
Right.
I do think
naked boot with a guy in your face.
Right.
The same thing I said with Drake May. When Myles Garrett's on you got to throw it away at some point. Rattler tries to throw it through him, and it obviously didn't.
I think that's one where it's like, that's one of the few instances where I think you almost just have to judge the results. Like, it is on you to make the play in that situation, and if you don't, that's a problem.
It was also 2nd and 1. I don't know. It's another one of those where my whole mentality is like, judge the process, not necessarily the result. And if Nelson just batted it down,
right, you'd be like, no harm, no foul.
Yeah. Would you be like, terrible decision, Spencer, don't ever do it again? Could have been a pick 6. No, you'd forget about it.
And that's kind of why, that's why I feel.
I see where your defense comes from.
That's why the benching feels kind of harsh, right? It's because, we focused on turnovers, but then you've got one where it's like the difference between it being a turnover and it being batted down is Nelson being a freak. And then the first one, he gets punched in the head on the way to it happening. You're like,
maybe he's got a weak chin. You got benched for having a weak chin. No, my whole point on it doesn't matter. It's like, you're a one-win team, high level for this organization. You are truly deciding who your quarterback of the future is. It's still up in the air. It's between Spencer Rattler, Tyler Shuck, and Mystery Box next year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still probably better for the Saints at some point to get a look at Shuck, who they just spent pick 40 on. You just spent pick 40. Like, the only thing that would make you feel good about not seeing Tyler Shuck is Spencer Rattler balling out the whole time. And there was definitely stretches of play this year where, like, man, he could be the guy. But yeah, the last 6 quarters of Spencer Rattler haven't been nearly as good. You have had the turnovers, so they brought in Shuck. And it's either sparked the team in the second half,
which did not happen,
or it's like, here's the move we're going to make. I don't think they're going to make the move.
But that's the thing, is it opens that door now to, previously this had been Spencer Rattler's job, relatively unchallenged. And now it's like, well, now we've got a quarterback controversy, regardless of what happens. I mean, Tyler Shuck came in, didn't really spark anything, wasn't dramatically better, didn't play any better, I don't think, than Spencer Rattler. But all of a sudden now, just because you've opened that door, this is now a battle.
Yeah. No, deal with the controversy, as you would say.
And now, not lost in all this, but in amongst all this, you have the fact that the Saints defense actually did pretty well. Baker Mayfield had another game where he wasn't great, was under pressure a lot, wasn't handling pressure particularly well. This was a game where the Saints could have had more joy if they simply hadn't turned the ball over.
I saw John Ledyard, I think, pointed out, he's a Bucs and Steelers fan, so we watches both teams closely. The Baker got strip sacked just before the half. Like, the fact that the Bucs were almost up 14-0 just on the back of their defense. Heading into the half, it was 7-3, and they gave the 3 to the Saints right before the half. Baker got strip sacked.
Right.
And it was one of those, if you just watch the replay, you're like, oh, Chase Young whooped Tristan Wirfs. But Baker, what Ledyard mentioned until I rewatched it, it was a good point. Baker dropped back to like 11 yards on that play. And I don't think there was a reason to. It was a 5-man pressure from the Saints. Sometimes you retreat for listeners who don't know, most dropbacks are rarely beyond 10 yards, and most you want in the 7 to 9 yard range. It depends on how many steps your dropback's going to be, and the timing of the routes and everything. Anytime you're beyond 10 yards, the tackles are not blocking for that. So Chase Young takes the angle to Baker. Tristan Wirfs isn't blocking for that. So Chase Young gets in there and they get strip sacked. Baker gets strip sacked. That's just it's poor pocket management. And it looks subtle. Like you don't notice it until you start like, man, he's really deep. And you lose the integrity of the pocket. And that ended up costing 3 points. Didn't matter in the game, but that cost 3 points. And yeah, the Bucs offense has not looked good for 2 straight weeks. Reminds me a little bit of the Niners overall, where like for the first 6-7 weeks of the season, it's like, good job getting through the injuries. Good job. Baker's carrying this team, making, fourth quarter magic. But at some point, they're just running out of, you don't have Mike Evans. You have Ibuka, who doesn't look the same the last couple weeks, coming off the hamstring injury. It's just not, it's tough to overcome those injuries every single week. Didn't matter in this game. They're a better team than the Saints. The defense made a ton of big plays for the Bucs, but something to keep an eye on with the Bucs offense. Looking not so good these last 2 weeks between the Lions and the Saints games.
I think the Saints defense, their pass rush was doing a really good job. You look at the sacks. There was that strip sack you talked about. There was one that was just a heavy blitz. They sent like 6 guys. They ended up breaking the Bucs protection. It was a free rusher. Another one, they just had a guy getting whooped on the offensive line, defensive line. They just won a one-on-one battle and got pressure immediately. And Baker's been doing amazingly in the face of quite a lot of pressure for most of this season. It's been getting better since they got, Tristan Wirfs, et cetera, back. But, Baker is a quarterback that can develop some bad habits if he's under pressure a lot. He doesn't always react particularly well to it. And this is the second week in a row, I think, where he's not played particularly well in the face of a lot of pressure.
Great job by the Bucs defense, though. They did in Chase McLaughlin with 3 50-plus yard field goals, 55, 52, and 54 for the Bucs in this one. Defense did a really nice job.
Look at you, kicker expert.
I'm just reading the box score, and I saw that they were all above 50.
Yeah.
So there you go, special teams. You got a little bit of love. Bucs moved to 6-2. They got the South pretty well in control here right now.
Yeah, huge week for them, given, this game within the division, and then Atlanta and Carolina both drop in games. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video.
Check the Mic is live every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a thing.
And the all-knowing algorithm is convinced you'll also like these videos, and who are we to argue?